So starting this morning in your space, and feel free to take a nice clearing breath or two here. That means filling up in through the nose and then release as much out through the mouth. And just assume a shape that feels comfortable for you. My personal preference is to take a warm shower before I begin my yoga in the morning. I don't know if you do that, but that's just a little heads up. I find that if I practice with a cold body, so to speak, it's a little more difficult. So something to think about. And here, continue to just move your body, maybe wiggle back and forth, or just be still. The focus of today's practice is just to unite the body and the breath and the spirit. And I want you to leave the class feeling better than you did when you entered. If you do, that'll make me feel a lot better. All right, so from your child's pose, and even if you're not in your child's pose, let's just come up to a tabletop position now. So a nice stable tabletop position. And use one hand to feel your belly. Try not to let it sag here. We don't want a cow pose, but nice, stable. I'd like to bring to focus everything we do. We're going to use the whole body, of course, but this area, the abdominals, will be an important piece of everything we do. And not only just so that we, look good in a swimsuit, but I'm talking about the deeper layers, the transverse abdominals, the muscles that are like a corset. So be aware of those right now. Put that belt on or that corset on. And we're doing that so that we can move easier through the day, so we don't suffer from back pain, so that we have good posture. Now release the belly, let it drop to the ground, and find that gentle cow pose. Stretch the front of your belly down towards the mat. And you can even bring one hand to your low back. You'll feel that little arch or that little saddle. Now go ahead and bring the belly up again. Pull it in as much as you can and find that cat position. Now find the movements on your own and enjoy them. Any kind of breathing that you'd like. And then find your way back to where we started, to the neutral spine, but we're belting up those abdominal muscles. Let's go ahead and stretch the right leg all the way back. Keep the foot flexed, toes pointing down. And then, like cat, pull the knee in towards the chest. You can even lower your nose towards your knee. Let's go a few more rounds. Stretch the right leg back, using the abdominals, using the glute muscles, and then pull the knee in. You can go at this pace, or you can take it up tempo, anything you'd like. Notice how all the parts move, and try and focus on the ones that feel strong and the ones that feel good and united. And then the next time that right leg comes back, see if you can send the left arm forward. Use your core, use your glutes, use your spinal muscles for 4, 3, 2, and then on 1, just go ahead and lower everything back down and come to all fours. Feel free to rock a little side to side or do some circles or figure eights here. And I'm just going to check on you guys real quick. If you're ready, let's do the other side now. So again, from that tabletop with our imaginary belt on the core, go ahead and stretch the left leg back. Toes can be flexed or pointed, whatever you'd like. And then knee draws in towards the belly, and maybe you round and bring your nose towards your knee. Keep it going. In our yoga practice, we're not competing. It's not that kind of activity. And you're also not even competing against yourself. This is an opportunity to just reunite with your body and your breath, and wherever you are this morning, wherever you are, whatever you brought to the mat today, it's all good. All right, if you're ready, stretch the left leg out one more time and then slowly add the right arm for our first balance posture. How are you doing? Maybe you're looking straight down and smiling. For 4, I forgot to count, 3, 2, and then again on your 1, slowly, mindfully bring everything back down to your yoga mat. And again, you can rock back and forth, draw some circles or figure 8s. I'll leave that to you. Use your creativity. All right, good job. From here, let's come to prepare for our first downward dog. And I want you to look at your hands to begin. And I want you to maybe walk your hands just a handprint forward and draw your inner arms forward, tuck your toes. And we're going to slowly raise our knees, prepping for it. We're just prepping for it. Here, with our knees hovering, I know you can feel that core working. I know it. Hold and breathe. So we're just prepping for down dog. Now let's slowly get there. Take those hips up. And set your feet down, maybe hips width apart, maybe wider. And take any movements that you'd like this morning. And I'm going to watch you. Maybe just take your dog for a little walk here. Maybe some cleansing breaths if you prefer, maybe nodding your head. And you can always take a break anytime coming down and resting. All right, from downward dog, just find a few breaths of being still. Your knees can be bent or straight leg, whatever you'd like. Notice the path of the air in and out. And then we come to bend our knees. Look towards our fingers, our hands, and slowly walk towards the front of our mat. Here with our legs bent, we just hang out for a few moments over our feet. The hands can be placed on the ground. They can wrap the elbows, you can hang. Find a forward fold shape that you prefer. And then with our feet grounded and our toes pressing, our heels pressing, and our legs bent, we just lift up and hang in a ragdoll shape just for another breath or 2. Arms are dangling. Chin is tucked. And with awareness, we roll all the way up, nice and slow. Once the crown is over the shoulders or over the chest and hips, we come to mountain pose. All right. So I'm going to just turn the mat to face the camera. And I'd like you to just walk back towards the center of your mat now. And from here, take your feet either as wide as the edges of your yoga mat, if that feels okay. Actually, before we even do that, let's just gather our feet right under our hips. Let's just gather our feet right under our hips. And from here, take your palms together and just rub them. as you're rubbing your palms, draw your belly in, scoop the tailbone under, but just create a little heat and just a reminder to be in the moment. All right, from here, go ahead and place your hands over your heart. Relax your shoulders and close your eyes. And just whatever you brought to the mat is fine this morning. If you're dealing with a physical injury, you'll be careful. Set a good intention for today. One last breath here. And then open the eyes and stretch all the way up. The whole body stretching, fingers reaching for the ceiling. That's it. And then we lower the arms and clasp our hands behind us. So I'll just turn to face away from you. Our feet are right under our hips. Find your footing and then draw your knuckles down past the tail. We're going to bump our hips to the left and we're going to lean to the right. Imagine the crown of your head being pulled by a string. Feel the core muscles supporting you. Good. Now come back where we started, upright. Then bump your hips to the right and your hands to the right and lean to the left. Try not to drop your head. Keep your neck really bright and long. Thank you for breathing deep into your lungs. Good. And then back to center. I'm going to face you now. We're going to do it one more time. Bump your hips to the right and lean to the left. I think that's the side we're doing now. When I turned, I got mixed up. Back to the middle and then to the opposite side. Hips bump left, I think, and you lean right. All right, back to the center. Now release your hands. One more stretch, reach all the way up. And while you're reaching up, imagine you're putting on these stockings. They're filled with health, healing energy. So feel that energy drawing upwards. All right, and then from here, bend the knees and just take a fold once again. Knees are bent a lot. You might want to walk your hands to the right, wobble your head. Walk your hands to the left, wobble your head. And then back to the middle, and then ragdoll again. We're just hanging out. Our arms are just hanging in the air. You can roll out your arms, wiggle them. Your belly is pulling in, your chin is pulling in, and then we roll up. Nice and slow. And circle the arms all the way up over the crown of the head and then hands to the heart. All right, now we're going to step out with our feet. You can either just walk your feet out outside your hips, or you can try taking them to the outer edges of your mat. Try to find a place that feels good to you, toes straight ahead. What we're going to do now is a chair with wide legs. So actually, I don't want my feet on the outer edges. I want them a little closer. So we're going to drop our hips, stretch our arms out, and then we're going to come all the way up and pull them in. Let's just do 2 or 3 more. And be real aware of your knees. We inhale, we lower the hips, and we're going to do more of this later. And we exhale, come on up. Last one. Lower your hips, sit in the chair, and then all the way up. Now we're going to bend the knees one more time. Your choice. You can take your feet out a step wider or not. And we're going to press onto our thighs. We're going to inhale, find that open chest for cow. And then breathe out and find our cat, pressing our hands into our thighs. So do some more on your own. Notice you maybe want your eyes open or closed. One more of each, cat and cow. Feet are stable. And then press into your thighs, open chest. We're going to roll our right shoulder back and bring our left shoulder towards the ground. Twist. Back to center. Roll our left shoulder back. Drop our right shoulder towards the ground. Twist. Move through one more on your own. Back to center. And slowly raise yourself to stand and gather your feet under your hips again for high mountain. Take one more full breath, maybe smile, maybe look up, and then hands come back to center. All right, take an inhale and an exhale, relax. All right, moving on. Let's step out again. And this again can be as wide as you'd like. Find your toes, find your heels, and then we drop into a chair posture or a modified chair posture. You can bring your hands together or keep them apart. Just do a quick scan of what muscles that you're using or that you're aware of right now. Try to focus on those. Hopefully you're feeling the muscles of your core, your pelvis, your tailbone, your glutes. Good, and then inhale, stand up. Maybe bring those fists in. So we're gonna do some more, any tempo that any speed that you'd like. Sit and stand. Maybe squeeze the buttocks as you come up, the glute muscles. So any pace, it could be slow. You can pick up the tempo, but use your breath. You can also, I'm inhaling as I squat and I'm exhaling as I stand. If that doesn't work, breathe a different way. Start to own this movement. Are you getting warmer? Knees point straight ahead. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1, and all the way up. Good, and release. Gather the feet, maybe a little more under the hips. And inhale to stretch the arms up one more time, and exhale, hands to the heart. All right, let's step to the front of the mat and find ourselves ready for mountain pose. So the benefits of this can be carried off the mat into the rest of your day. Find your foundation, your feet. Most of us cram our feet into shoes all day, so really spread those toes. Draw those energy stockings up. Relax your face, your tongue, and feel a little energetic lift in your chest. Mountain pose. Close your eyes if you'd like. And just notice what muscles you're using for this foundational posture. Eyes open. A little softness in the knees now as we lower. And then inhale, raise the arms up overhead. And then exhale, bend the knees, and we fold again. Now with your hands pressing down, find plank pose. I'm going to turn my mat again. So find your plank, your high plank pose, or if you prefer, your low plank with your knees down. So slide the shoulder blades down the back, whatever version you're doing. And then slowly, with control, lower down. Keep the toes tucked. Now pressing slowly back up, either high or low plank. What muscles are you using? Slowly lower down. Keep the toes tucked. Slowly press it up. It's hard. 2 more. Slowly lower down. Elbows point back. Slowly press it up. If you're just doing low plank, you're just doing low plank. Last one. Slowly down and slowly up. Hold your plank. And then one more. Slowly all the way down. Untuck your toes. Think of a baby cobra. Baby cobra, just lifting up a little bit, toenails pressing down. Exhale, come all the way down. Relax. Again, a baby cobra. Just opening the throat, stretching out the chest, a little bit of muscle in the back firing up, and exhale, lower down. Now, please raise back up to that plank. And hips high to down dog. Whoa, that was a workout. I'm ready for Shavasana. Paddle out your feet. All right, take that dog for a walk. Now, if that wasn't enough for you, we have more. Just kidding. So from here, we're gonna go from our downward dog and think about rolling forward either to a plank or to the knees down plank. And then slowly pressing back up, find your downward facing dog. We only have 4 of them, so sweat through it. Maybe it's hard for you, maybe it's easy, but try to notice what muscles you're using. Got 2 more, I think. And collectively, we'll meet in our downward facing dog again. Take a breath. Take a cleansing breath. Give the head a shake. That was a lot. All right, now we're going to bring our feet a little closer together and get ready to raise the right leg high. Notice if you're using any of your glutes, and then open your right hip. Circle out your ankle. Keep the right leg straight today, for now anyway. And then bend your right knee and open up your hip. Circle out your ankle again. As we get ready to level out our hips, we're going to bring the knee in towards the belly or towards the nose and then shoot it back out again. If this is too hard, you can lower down to your left knee and do it this way. Move through a couple more. And then we have our lunge. We'll either step the right foot forward or carry it with your right hand. Put your left knee down. So let's try to open the hips here. So bring both hands inside your right foot and turn your right foot out. Hopefully you can see. If you'd like, stay on your palms. If you'd like, if your block is handy, you can lower down to your block on your forearms. So either hands on the ground, your fingers flat or tented, or arms on a block. And I am going to rock my hips forward and back, side to side, just to give them a little more opening. You can do that or be still. Good. All right. Last breath, and then come back to your hands. Walk that foot back in and press all the way up to high lunge. And I really mean high lunge, high crescent lunge. Come up, you can straighten your leg for breath and then bend it if you'd like. So let's come up high lunge. Arms can be straight or bent. Pressing into only the toes and the ball of the left foot. The heel is shining high into the air off the mat. Here for 3, 2, and again, notice what muscles you're using to support the posture. And on 1, lower your hands and lower your left knee and take your right knee back to your left. Let's open up now for a child's pose, our second one. So you can open your knees wide, or you can sit up if you don't like child's pose. Hopefully you haven't left the class because maybe it wasn't the kind of class you thought it was going to be. I hope it's not too much this morning because I've been saying this is gentle and I've been gradually making it stronger. So, all right, one more breath in that child's pose. All right, from there, let's go ahead and find our way back to your downward facing dog. Take your time. Notice those transitions. They're just as important as the posture. And then feet are kind of close. Let's raise the left leg in the air. And open your left hip. Just keep the legs straight. Open the left hip. Maybe circle out the ankle. And then try bending the left knee, opening at the hip a little more, circling the ankle, or being still. What muscles are helping you sustain the pose? And then level out your hips, square off your hips. Left leg stretches high, knee to chest or knee to nose. 2 more, left leg high. Again, you can make this easier by dropping your right knee to the mat. And then we take that left foot forward to the hands, lower your right knee, bring your hands inside the left foot and walk the left foot out to the side, pointed at turn to a corner, turned out. So we're in our variation, could be any variation you want to practice of your runner's lunge. Palms on the ground, forearms on a block, head up, head down, whatever you prefer. Let's just take some time here. And this side's going to feel a lot different, I promise. Good, let's collectively come back together. Hands press, shimmy, or walk the foot back between the hands. Tuck your back toes, and we're coming up high lunge again. Remember, the right heel is in the air. So you can maybe bring your hands to feel the abdominals, the imaginary belt. Maybe you're tucking your tail. What part of your body? Maybe you're relaxing your shoulders. Maybe your arms are stretching high or bent. 4, 3, 2, and then on 1, we slowly, mindfully make that transition. And this time, please step back to a plank. Either knees up or down, lower. Either baby cobra or bigger cobra. Lift. On the exhale, lower again, face down, tuck your toes, press up to plank, and back up to your downward facing dog. Deep breaths, that's all you've got to do here. And let's keep going. Right leg up, step it forward, and this time, keep your left heel, come back up, high lunge. And this time, take a twist. So send the left arm forward, the right arm back. Keep the crown over the heart, over the pelvis. Maybe look over your right shoulder, maybe not. And then for a bonus posture, drop your right hand to your left thigh. Reach your left arm up. Exalted warrior pose. You can look straight ahead. Back to our twist. Good. And then back to our high lunge. Now open up to reverse triangle. So legs are straight. Softly drop the left hand, reach the right arm up. We're focusing on the obliques now. All right, and now slowly come up and move into warrior 2. So for this posture, focus on engaging the glutes, tucking the tail, drawing the belly in, and once again, reverse triangle. So move through those 2 postures on your own, warrior 2, reverse triangle, and I'll just check and see how you are doing. A warrior 2 and a reverse triangle. All right, the next time you come to that reverse triangle, hold. Right arm is up and over, left hand is down. And then let's take it back to warrior 2 together collectively and slowly make that transition. Bring your palms down, step back to downward dog. Beautiful. Let's do the other side now. Left leg up. Step it or carry it forward. High lunge. Crescent lunge. Twist to the left. Or take exalted warrior. You don't have to. Back to the twist. Back to high lunge, reach the fingers to the sky, and then open up, put both feet down, really stretch your yoga mat, and reverse triangle. That just means left arm up and over, right hand down. Opening up the left obliques now. What muscles are you using as we transition to warrior 2? Bend that left knee. And back to reverse triangle. So move between those 2 on your own, bending and straightening that left knee. Like a meditation, a moving meditation. And then collectively, when you're ready, meet in that reverse triangle. Press the feet solidly into the mat. Find that energy, lifting the kneecaps up. And notice as you make that mindful transition to warrior 2, gaze past your left hand. With a tall breath and a tall spine. Now we're ready for the second transition. Bring the hands down and either take plank and a vinyasa or just take it back to your downward facing dog. Breathe deep here. Excellent. Okay, from our downward dog, we're going to come into a variation of the squat. So bring your toes to the ground and turn your knees out. And heels are off the floor. Bring your hands to the ground or claw. So we're just opening up our knees, our hips, and start by keeping the knees open, fingers on the ground. And then experiment. Use the core, use the glutes, use the tall spine, press the hands. Heels are in the air for this version of the squat. This is a balanced version with our heels in the air and our toes pressing down. Maybe lift yourself up a little bit away from your heels. Maybe not. And then once again, come back down, bring your hands down. Now press your arms into your legs. Open those hips a little more. Relax your head. And then slowly walk your hands forward. And slowly step your feet back to down dog. Just 3 breaths here. 1. Go ahead and do your cleansing breaths. 2. 3. Ready to use your yoga block? Bend your knees, step forward to the forward fold position and slowly roll all the way. Circle your arms overhead, hands to heart. If you don't have a yoga block, don't worry about it. We've been here before. Feet are wide. We drop the hips and then we stand up. We've done this before. Back to this. Notice the action of the abdominals and the glutes as we come up. Notice the feet are grounded. If you do want to use the block with me, promise not to fall. I'll show you what's next. Take the block under one foot. I'm putting it under my right. Knees point forward. I drop my hips. I'm in a funny little squat here. And then as I come up, I straighten that left leg, maybe lift it off the ground. Back down, back up, back down. So see if you like that. If you're just like, geez, nuts, I don't want to do that, just keep both feet on the ground. Knees point forward, slow, mindful movement and breath. Last 2, if you're doing the block, or if you're done with this, if you had enough, that's fine too. Otherwise, come all the way up and hold, balancing now, balancing on your block, and then release. All right, come down to your feet and scoot the block over to the left. We're going to do the same thing, but take a moment to rest, catch your breath, or I'll catch my breath. Left foot on the block. Feet are pointing straight ahead. We sit down in that funny little squat, and then up we go. Maybe you're inhaling and exhaling. Maybe you're exhaling and inhaling. Find a breath that works. Maybe you don't keep your foot in the air. Maybe just the toes are on the ground if you're using the block. If you're not using the block, you know what you're doing? You're just doing what we did before. Okay, so how about 4 more? And when you come to 4, let's just hang out and balance. Maybe raise that right foot off the ground. Stand tall. And come on down off your perch. Whew. Okay, shake out your legs. It's open to the long side of the mat. Walk your feet out. Press your hands into your hips, thumbs to your back. This whole front area, let it open, lift, and shine bright. Little baby back bend. Look up at your ceiling. Hopefully you don't have any cobwebs up there like I do. And then you can give your back a little massage with your thumbs. Maybe come halfway. And then enjoy the rest of your journey. Come to a forward fold. Hands can certainly rest on a block or the floor or your legs. And I'm going to watch you and see how you guys are doing. So take 5 here in this forward fold. 1. And release with the breath here. 2. 3. Don't hold back. Let go. 4. Don't come up yet, even though we're on 5. I'd like you to come halfway up, either fingertips on the block or ground. And then one more chance to twist. Raise your left arm. Center, raise your right arm. We're going to make 5 more, do 6 more of these on your own. So don't worry about looking at me or counting with me. Just do them on your own, any tempo that works for you, okay? Notice what muscles you're using. Last one of each. Set your block aside. Bring your hands back to your hips or waist. Come up halfway and hold for a moment. Feel those strong legs and slowly all the way up. Take a breath and walk your feet in or hop your feet in front of your mat when you're ready. All right, back to our mountain pose. Close the eyes. Eyes open. And let's go ahead and interlace our fingers tightly and take them overhead in a basket position. Press into your feet and then flip, turn your palms inside out. Feel the little bit more stretch that you get here. Lean gently over to the right. Bring it back to center. Lean gently to the left. Bring it back to center. Release your hands. Open your chest. Stand up straight. Release your hands. Clasp the hands behind you. And easy does it. Bend the knees. And again, let gravity help you here. Forward. A little less effort as you release your hands. And then take your hand under your foot so that your toes touch your wrist crease. Lift your other foot, your hand under your foot so your knees are bent. We're standing collectively on our palms. And your weight can be forward, back. You can move forward and back. Hopefully it feels good. If it doesn't and you don't like it, come out of it. I'm not even trying to straighten my legs. They're nice and soft. I'm just standing, stretching out my low back. I'm even wiggling my toes. I don't know, it feels good to me. Hopefully it feels good to you. Last couple breaths here if you're still with me. And then 1 foot at a time, 1 hand at a time. Palms press back to your downward facing dog. All right, from your downward facing dog, bend the knees and press back down to tabletop. And from tabletop, we're just going to drop to one side and just swing the legs forward and come to a seated position. Basic seated position. Press palms down, open hips, lift spine, close eyes. What muscles are you using now that are not necessary? Muscles not necessary are muscles that are causing stress. They're not doing anything to support us. What muscles might you relax a little more? You know the muscles you need to support. That would be pelvis, the core, the back, the obliques, but what muscles are not necessary? Maybe shoulders can relax. Excellent. Now let's open the eyes and swing, not swing, circle. Circle the arms up and then to the heart a few times with breath. And last one. Right. Now we're just going to take a twist. Right hand behind you, close to the tail. Wrap your shoulders around. Roll your right shoulder back. And breathe. Like a beginner twist, just a beginner mind, a fresh mind. Last 2 breaths here. And after that second breath, back to center. Here we go. Inhale, arms up, hands to heart. Just one more. Twist to your left. And what muscles are supporting you? And what muscles don't you need to be using? Those are the ones we can relax. Last breath here. Good. And back to center. All right, let's take a cobbler's pose, feet together. So feet together, you can either pull the heels in for a more, what's the word? I can't think of it, a stronger one, or a more relaxed one, heels away. And guess what? You can even use your yoga if you have one, or a few couple pillows. So maybe in a relaxed cobbler's pose, we start to lean forward, and maybe our forehead can rest on the block. I'm going to count to 10 here, whatever variation you're doing, but make sure it's a relaxed one for this part. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Don't come up quite yet. After 1, just hang out there for a second. And think about what muscles are necessary to make that transition come up, and then engage them. And slowly we come up. All right. Now stretch out the legs forward. Hopefully you're seated so that your heels, your feet come to the front of your mat. And point and flex, open, or roll out. Just relax the feet for a few moments. I don't know if you can see. Just point, flex, circle. And then we're going to move, maybe move the flesh to release the sits bones into the ground. And we're going to put those energy stockings on again. Draw that energy up your feet, your ankles, your legs, your knees, and come to sit in Dandasana, staff pose. Keep the spine long, neck long. Close the eyes if you'd like. Just 5 breaths. 1. And while I'm counting, I want you to be thinking about what muscles are helping you sustain the posture and what muscles you don't need to use. 2. 3. 4. 5. And relax, let the eyes open. Now your hands press down into the ground, put your feet down, and maybe bring your hips a little bit more forward. Reach your fingers out and slowly roll down to lie on your back. Once you roll down to lie on your back, now you might want to loosely draw your knees in towards your chest and give yourself a hug. I'm going to move the phone down here. All right. And then we're going to reach the arms up towards the sky. So our low back is on the ground, our legs are bent at a right angle, and the arms are reaching for the sky. This is called dead bug. I'm going to stretch my right leg straight and my left arm over my head. What muscles are you using? Your core, of course, maybe your glutes, maybe your back, and then come back. Dead bug. I'm going to stretch my left leg long, just let it hover over the mat and reach my right arm all the way overhead. This is for the abdominals. Good. Back to the dead bug position. Hopefully you can see. And then, right leg stretches long, left arm overhead. So the arm and the leg are hovering an inch or 2 above the mat. Back up, move from your center. So now that you know what we're doing, keep going any speed, any tempo you prefer. You know what? This is also good for our brains. I'm really having to think hard on what leg goes and what arm goes. Get those nice long lines of energy opening up. All right, last one of each. And then collectively we'll meet in the dead bug posture again. So one more of each. You can add this to your bag of tricks and then slowly bring the feet up, knees are bent, and either hold the legs for a relaxed happy baby or find your feet or your toes. Find a happy baby that works for you. Really happy, you can rock left and right, stretch one leg out and then the other. You know how to do it. And then come back to center for another cobbler pose, feet pressed together on the ground. Rub out your tummy. Was that a lot on your core? I don't know. It was for me, maybe not for you. And then put your feet back down, solid on the ground. Now we're going to just bump our hips off to the left and swing the knees to the right for a restorative twist. You can even turn your head to the left. 5 breaths here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What muscles support you as you come back to the middle? And then bump your hips off to the right. Drop your knees to the left. Turn your head to the right for a supported, or restorative, I should say, not supportive, a restorative twist. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. What muscles bring you safely back to center? And if you need anything else to complete your practice, you can add it here. If you're ready for Shavasana, go there. I'm just going to check and see what you guys are doing. Might feel good to get a blanket, cozy blanket, cover up, soothing blanket. All right, so windshield wiper your feet, wiggle out your legs as you get ready for Shavasana. Move your toes, your fingers, get all the fidgets out. And then find the midline through your spine. And from there, let your limbs rest on the ground. Let's just do one collective cleansing breath together to release and to relax. Ready? Dare to breathe in as deep and as slow as you can through your nose and hold at the top. And let it out through your mouth. Release your body. Release your practice and enjoy your Shavasana.